Welcome back to Food Ecstasy. If you find it difficult to imagine a day without a cup of coffee, then our top 5 unique coffee recipes from around the world are going to make you run to your kitchen right now. We all rush somewhere in the morning, and cooking is the last thing that we want to spend the time on. But as soon as you have 5 minutes, do not hesitate to pamper yourself. We are sure that everyone will find at least one recipe to try tomorrow morning. So prepare your mugs. Vietnamese Egg Coffee, Kaffeost. If you mistakenly think that coffee is not popular in Asia, then you probably did not know that Vietnam is second only to Brazil among the world's largest coffee exporters. 20%, this is the current share of Vietnamese coffee production on the world market. Vietnamese egg coffee is a combination of strong black coffee and a delicate egg foam in one mug. Unlike many other dishes of national cuisine of this country, traditional egg coffee is easy to make at home. It does not require any rare ingredients or specific spices. Take 2 yolks and whisk with 2 teaspoons of sugar. When the color and texture of the yolks change, add a little bit of vanilla extract and whisk it slightly one more time. Make a strong black coffee or brew it in the traditional Vietnamese thin filter. Carefully place the beaten yolks on top of the coffee. You can use a spoon or spatula to slowly and evenly lower the yolks. It tastes very delicate with a tender scent of custard, and we can assure you that this drink will easily replace any dessert. Café Bombón from Spain. This is a very sweet version of coffee, which fully matches its name. Originally coming from Spain, this coffee drink can now be found anywhere in the world. Making this coffee is easy enough, but you have to observe a couple of simple rules. First of all, you need to use a full-fat condensed milk, as the low-fat one may not deliver the marvelous taste of this drink. In brief, you just need to pour the condensed milk and strong black espresso in 1:1 ratio. This is the original recipe. Do not sweeten the coffee separately. Owing to the dense texture of condensed milk, your coffee won't blend with it. However, the original ratio makes this drink quite sweet. If you're not a fan of sweet coffee, we recommend you using 30% of milk and 70% of espresso. And finally, add the milk froth on top. If you do not have the opportunity to froth the milk at home, then just do not add anything. Milk without foam will blend with dark coffee color and you will not reach the right contrast in the glass. You should get 3 beautiful and bright layers. Café Bombón is perfect to drink without stirring. Kaffeost is the Swedish and Finnish tradition of adding cheese to coffee. They usually add the traditional cheese called leipäjuusto, which is known in the US as the Finnish squeaky cheese or bread cheese. On an industrial scale, it is prepared from cow's milk, but many traditional recipes recommend using the goat or deer milk. Before being added to the coffee, the cheese is diced. This creates a perfect combination of aroma and gentle creamy aftertaste. Today you can find different variations of making coffee with cheese. We expect the comments claiming that the Finnish cheese is not a typical food item at the nearby corner store. Therefore, we offer another version of coffee cheese recipe. not less cheesy and not less delicious. Take 1.7 ounces of milk and 1 ounce of cream cheese. Whisk well. Add the mixture into the black coffee and mix again well. The Old Moor Secret Garlic Coffee. Coffee and garlic, do not rush to rewind this part. The taste and combination of aromas will definitely surprise you. It is unlikely that someone could decide to combine these two ingredients in one drink, but we assure you that this unusual combination will force you to take a fresh look at the art of food pairing. Pour 1 heaped teaspoon of ground coffee into a jasp. Cut off a thin, almost transparent petal from a medium-sized garlic clove. Add it into the jasp. Pour 5 ounces of hot water. Set the burner to the lowest heat possible. Follow the main rules of the Turkish coffee recipe. When the foam begins to rise, remove the jasp from the heat. For the first time, pour only the foam. Repeat the procedure one more time. Then, pour gently the rest of the coffee. Important tips from Food Ecstasy. Warm up the coffee in advance and do not be afraid to pour the coffee along with the thicket. Add 1 teaspoon of honey, but do not stir. Honey should dissolve on its own. Let the drink steep for 2 minutes. Coffee with salt. We are used to the presence of sugar, cream, or milk in coffee drinks. But most of these additives are typically the Western ways to reduce the bitterness of black coffee. In fact, the salty taste is much more effective in suppressing the bitterness. In addition, salt helps people living in countries with hot climate to avoid dehydration. For example, the addition of salt in coffee is traditional in Ethiopia and in the neighboring countries. For the basic recipe of coffee with salt, you will need 2 teaspoons of ground coffee, 5 ounces of cold water, and a pinch of medium grinded sea salt. Set the burner to the low heat. Put salt and coffee into the pot. Gently shaking, distribute the mixture on the bottom. Then add cold water. Using a low heat, bring the drink to the formation of the first foam. Be attentive and avoid boiling. Remove the jasp from the burner for 20 to 30 seconds. Repeat the heating for at least 2 more times. Each time, the speed of foam raising will increase. It is important to remove the pot from the burner in time. Pour the coffee into a warm mug. Did you like our selection of unusual coffee recipes from different parts of the world? We hope that you have already chosen which recipe you will try first. If you have already tried one of the options, share your impressions in the comments tab. Do not be afraid of experiments. They're delicious. To support us, subscribe to our channel and share with your friends. You can also check out the videos recommended on this screen. We'll see you next time.